Shalom. Barak, it's Yehoshua Ya'acov ben Avraham. I'm making this video from Jerusalem, and I'm an American citizen, and I was interested in it retroactively. It talks about you're going to pass an act to reward those companies that don't ship jobs overseas and create jobs because the U.S. Steel had closed down. The economic plan that you have to run for president upon, without a question of a doubt, because the problem is wide and deep, is a new economic plan to transform structurally the American economy, make it the goal has to be to make it the most competitive economy in the world, and the only way to do that is with a new technologic infrastructure, a world-class global technologic infrastructure. And for that to be so, it has to be based upon the new economic paradigm, and that is the integration of labor. And that has to be your the DNC's platform committee has to present you with that as the policy that you're to seek to mandate, and that's the promise to the electorate, that you will mandate new national economic policy, and the new economic platform of the nation will be to build a world-class global technology based upon the new economic paradigm, the integration of labor. I'm its author. I approve this message. I endorse you for president, and you have to ascend the learning curve, and you will. And Fairless Hills will have jobs, as will all the other communities. It's a bottom-up win-win. It's top-down driven on supply side in terms of policy, legislation, and execution of the national program, but it's bottom-up in terms of creation of job impact. When mandated in law, the new world-class global technological infrastructure will be creating by at the end of year one approximately 10 to 20,000. It'll be in the tens of thousands. Initially, it will be about 30 to 40,000, and it will drop down a little, and then it will increase and surpass the original opening level. So it'll be creating tens of thousands of jobs for American sustainable domestic content jobs, and those jobs will be paying on average double and more than double the present average wage. It will retrofit the entire U.S. workforce. It will re-educate and retrain the entire U.S. workforce over several decades. And we're talking, of course, about the present generation of the youth, the ones coming in next, and the older ones will be retrained without the same robustness, because they will be in retirement in less than a decade, many. Having said that, the goal and the econometric macros suggest in the model that within 2 decades, after an investment of 4 to 5 trillion, which sounds like a tremendous amount, the gross domestic product will be running at approximately 3 times its present level, or around 30 trillion, which means that it can amortize the debt, which on the bell curve suggests it will rise from its present 9 trillion level to about 14 or 15, including debt service. And when fully amortized for the payment of the investment on supply side investment of this project, it will eliminate the entire national debt in years 20 to 21. It will eliminate the entire trade deficit. It will eliminate the Social Security deficit. It will provide full employment at salaries 2 and 3 times their present levels. It will transform the purchasing power and value of the U.S. currency threefold. Before year 10, it will have doubled. And so we are looking at a win-win situation. The framework in which this is attainable is the new world-class convergence model, Humanomics in general. It's the post-collapse of the ground zero for the East and West models, the Soviets and Yugoslavia, and they've had them collapse, and the West is imploding, as we see with the grammars of the world capital markets in meltdown, and the boom and bust cycles, and the occasional spurts of investment enthusiasm based upon the free lunch. We see that the basic articulation of Wall Street receiving preference over Main Street is and remains, and that's not resonating to the American public. What will resonate to them is a vision with international content and a plan and a program for delivery. The DNC has that. It will be tabled at the DNC by its platform committee, and you will run on that platform, which is to build, develop, implement, and acculturate the new economic paradigm. This is the promise, this is the vision, the promise, and the delivery that requires a Barack Obama as President of the United States. I'm the author of Humanomics in General. It's a trilogy. In its fifth draft, it's about 2,500 pages with about 200 graphics. It'll be published on the web when the lawyers finally decide what proprietary and intellectual property materials are to be excluded, so that they retain their protections. But that said, by and large, the composite of the articulation, substantially in its entirety, will go into the public domain. That said, I'm an American citizen. I live in Jerusalem for 22 years, and I responded to the call, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. And thank God I was able to do a few things, with a little obstruction of justice from Roberto Gonzalez when I made a complaint about certain things. But that's a story for another day, and he was sent home anyway. One of the greatest shames in the Department of Justice in the history of America. If it ever could be repeated, they should abolish it. That said, of course we won't abolish it, but we have to take safeguards. That said, I thank you for listening. I'm Yehoshua Ya'acov from Jerusalem, and we wish you blessings and success in all of your endeavors. And to Michelle and to the girls, we bless you from Jerusalem, and we bless Fearless Hills and its communities, and we thank you for listening. I'm Yehoshua Ya'acov.